Okay, so it's the end of a long day, and let me get you back to where we started. And that was one of the first slides, and this is with huge apologies to Iceland, because Iceland is not on this, doesn't figure on this map, and that's a huge oversight. And Cyprus is, oh gosh, too. I'm really sorry about this, but I couldn't resist this slide because it's so nice. It's actually the actual distribution of, as I mentioned earlier this morning, of tweets across Europe, and the original language of the tweets, I think from 2012 or something like that. And we said that the reason we're here is really to overcome language barriers. You know, languages are so central to us. They may be even one of the defining aspects of the things that make us human. I want to enjoy them. They're part of our large cultural heritage. They're supported by the EC. But we have to make sure that these languages, you know, are not divisive, they create boundaries, that content is only accessible like in these silos, not across languages, etc. And the way we do that is, of course, translation. And we use machine translation as a support for that. Now, what you find here on this slide is also a slogan. And this is the slogan, it's the motto for the entire project, for the ELRC. And this says, supporting our languages is supporting Europe, and supporting Europe is supporting our languages. And let me explain that to you, why this is really important, and why this makes sense. So first of all, when we share data, when we share language data, we're not giving it away. We're just sharing it. We're making a copy and provide that to somebody else, but we still keep it to ourselves. We still have everything that we had before sharing. Yeah, we just made somebody else happy. That's really, really important. The second thing why sharing is so important is that, you know, let me give you an example. Let's say the French and the German. Of course, the French, they have lots of French-German data. And they could take that data and train a really wonderful machine translation system. The Germans, they have some French-German data, and they could take that data and train a wonderful machine translation system. But you can get much better results if you put those two French-German data points together. You know, you get much more, and you know, to first approximation for machine learning-based, statistical machine translation, neural machine translation, more data is better. Not always. You need the right kind of data as well. But that's another reason why sharing makes sense. If we pool what we have, we get better results, each one of us. And finally, and this is sort of like one of those very rare situations in life that are really win-win situations. There are not many of those, okay? But this is one of them. Is if you provide data to support your language, you know, data in your language, your local language, one of the 24, one of the 26, you know, with the CEF-affiliated countries, then you make language technologies, and you make language technologies for your language better, for your own language. You're doing something for your own language. But you're also doing something for all the other languages, you know, that translate into these languages, and for your language translating out into the other languages. And that's a win-win situation. You make your language better, but you strengthen everybody else at the same time. And that's why we say supporting supporting our languages is supporting Europe. And supporting Europe is supporting our languages. And I think that's really, really important to keep in mind. And we have a sort of like, you know, a huge chance here to almost write history, because something like this has never ever been attempted before. So let's try and make that happen. So that's one thing that I wanted to stress again. You've also seen from the many contributions, you know, like for example, Alexandra from the German side, that have made it very, very clear that ELRC and the current machine translation systems that we have, that they're only a start. They're a start of a very, very long journey, but they're an important start. They're really, really an important start. So please consider sharing your data. Please consider, you know, helping set that train into motion. It's really, really important. You've also seen that the EC is really behind this. They are in it for the long haul. You know, Alexandra presented this new work program. There's €6.5 million for you to provide support for generating this data in your language, in other languages, for anonymizing it, for providing it in different areas and domains, etc. So please use this and this champagne reception to think with your colleagues. You know, share your experiences, like, you know, national anchor points here and all the participants at this conference, and maybe form consortia so that you can actually avail of some of that money that is available from the EC to support that data capture in the language technology area. I think that's also really, really important, and a point that I wanted to stress again. Finally, it's important to thank people. So first of all, let me thank for the many, many interesting, insightful, inspiring presentations here. I think we're grateful, we're really grateful for having had all of you. I think you enabled us to learn, appreciate a lot of viewpoints that are important in this space. Let me also thank all of you from the national public services or national anchor points or technology anchor points or national public service representatives for coming to this meeting here. You are hugely important because you can carry the message back into your home countries, talk to the people in your institutions, and make them appreciate the value and the importance of data in this sort of like data world. And in this world that is where information technologies, and particular machine translation, is so important to bridge gaps between people, citizens, institutions, etc. So important. So we're really grateful that so many of you came here. And in fact, we're a bit overwhelmed because we had to stop the registration because there's only space for 120 people here. And I think the interest that is sort of like implicit and behind your engagement here is really felt. So we're very, very grateful for that. So big thank you to you. Let me also thank my colleagues at the EC in absentia. They are really supporting multilinguality, language technologies, languages, also language learning. Kind of like, it's not just all about technology, it's also about language learning, etc. They're really supporting this. I can't read my own writing here. So anyways, but oh no, what I also want to mention is that we got great administrative support from them in terms of the venue here, making available this venue and sort of like linking our conference with the Translating Europe Forum. It's going to take place tomorrow and I think on Friday as well. It's a 2-day conference. So I think it's really good to link these two events, and I think quite a few of you are aware of this and will stay on for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. And finally, my big thanks, of course, go to the team from DFKI and then also from the University of Saarland. So let me mention Andrea over there. You've seen Andrea plenty of times. Andrea, thank you for the wonderful moderation. It was really, really nice and I think was appreciated by everybody here. Let me also thank Corinna and Lily. So Lily is over there in the background. I don't know where Corinna is. Over here at the camera. For a lot of support, administrative support, logistical support, carrying cameras and stuff like that. And the cameras bring me to Marco. So Marco, you know that we filmed our event to preserve it for posterity, so you can go back to some of the presentations and look at the slides and draw inspiration. You might also use some of that material to show it to some of your, I don't know, superiors or the people that work with you in your home countries. This might be useful. So many thanks also to Marcos for doing all the technical support and yeah, doing all the recordings and everything. So with that, I think I've tested your patience long enough. Thank you to you all again, and please enjoy the champagne reception.